Go. Hello, everybody. It's Danny Toolkire Hafen once again. Sorry I'm a little late with the pick ban phase, but we are here broadcasting Game 2 of this college finals.
Yeah, we're hopping right into it, and we already have quite the draft phase here. We have a lot of champions banned. However, Kaisa as well as Aurelia actually haven't made it through ban phase, yet either one have actually been picked up yet. So curious to see what each team's priority is. I imagine maybe Aurelia might get picked here by UCI, but we'll have to wait and see. Definitely quite the interesting one, a lot different from last game.
So something I wanted to touch on, you cannot see because my face is in the way. Cassiopeia, Rise, and Oriana are banned once again versus Julian. Last game, Irvine banned 4 mid laners, while Columbia banned 2 themselves, plus a mid laner pick from Irvine before the pick from Columbia. Julian was under so much pressure and in the end went to the Karma, and I feel that really cost them the game. I hope that this game they are able to do better. The Swain is a possible pick for him. It might go to Stumpy. But the interesting thing is, both Malhazar and Talia were good, prevalent picks in MSI, and I believe Julian would be able to play either of those champions to great effectiveness, and I wonder where they were last draft phase.
Yeah, you got to wonder if maybe they pinched him out so much that, someone that's still new to playing on stage maybe didn't want to play something that they weren't totally comfortable with. But you definitely have to think, since they're playing on a bit of a later patch than what we're currently on now, that you should be able to play the champions that are within that pool on that patch. But sadly, we did see the Karma. Maybe they thought that it was the best because they had the Caitlyn, but they did not play to their win condition. They didn't end up getting first tower, and they ended up getting drowned out. Now, as we head to the second ban phase, we are going to see lots of top lane bans, as well as the Karma to make sure that that cannot respond to the Swain. So we should see something a little bit new from Desecration this time around.
Quite possible. We also have yet to see the Yasuo ban that happened last game. Maybe Stumpy will get it this game. And we already have one knock-up with the Sejuani this game, plus the pull pack from Swain can activate the Yasuo ultimate. I really hope we get to see that champion.
Yeah, I'd love for them to pick their support here and then keep their top lane pick for the last pick so that they do have the counter. And it looks like we are going to see Kench, which is someone who's extremely strong, pulling them out of the bindings. I don't know if you can pull the Tom Kench out of the Skarner ultimate or not, though.
Yes, you may. You can pull them out of that.
Perfect. So that is a sick counter pick coming out, and then hopefully they can utilize it well, and hopefully Dean looks comfortable on that pick.
So something that I misspoke on earlier this tournament, this is the patch that had the Summoner Spellbook change, making it so you can choose to get a third Summoner spell once every 2 minutes until you use it, but then you go back automatically to your original spells. It makes it much harder for Tom Kench to not run cleanse from the very start to protect himself. So I very much expect to see Dean buy his first item, QSS, since he will be the target of all the CC this game. Because anybody else who gets locked down, he'll just be able to eat right out.
Oh, and we're going to see the Jax that come through. So the Aurelia actually made it through all the way past 2 ban phases, which I don't think we've actually seen yet so far in the tournament. And we are going to see the counter pick that will be the Jax, or it looks like, yeah, definitely just swapping there. So we're going to see Jax into Aurelia. So this is a very, very interesting top lane matchup that we're going to have here, and very snowbally. So whatever laner ends up getting the lead can really take over the game. So really curious to see how the top lane matchup goes. But ultimately, it looks like more comfortable champions for Columbia, champions that they are going to be able to actually lane a little bit better against their opponents with.
I wish I could pull up the pick ban stats for Zoe so far this tournament, but I believe she is in the 90 percentile for overall pick ban, and the majority is ban. I think I've seen her in 1 game so far this tournament. These players fear the snowball potential of that champion, not to mention just the overall chaos she can cause in team fights. So I really hope to see Desecration make that pick work, shows why people have feared and respected so much so far this tournament. And Julian, we grabbed you that Swain before the second ban phase. Make it work. Scare people off just like you were scared off from Swain last game.
Absolutely. We definitely have a few more comfortable champions, it seems like, for these guys. And now that we have the whole draft laid out for us, and we did see UCI take game 1, who is going to take game 2, Danny? Is it going to be a 2-0 lead for UCI, or is Columbia fighting back?
With Skarner's early game pressure, with the Skarner tax of QSS, I feel that California is going to win this game. We see Dean running Cleanse right off the bat, plus Guardian. Guardian is not that effective versus Morgana. It's not effective against any of those champions except the Aurelia, who she'll be split pushing the most often. It will only block a little bit of poke here and there. It won't make the huge game-changing difference of, say, when a Leona dives, your 80 carry and you have that Guardian proc and move speed. So, bad summoners, suboptimal, well, not bad summoners, but suboptimal summoners and suboptimal runes in the bot lane for Columbia. I feel that they just will get snowballed on once again too hard. And unless Stumpy can 1v1 Captain Nuke before the 4-minute mark and snowball his lane all by himself, I just see the momentum of California to continue to roll over Columbia this series.
I mean, it's definitely possible. We did see it last game. We just saw how passive Columbia played in the early game, really not playing to any win condition when they had the winning bot lane, not knocking down the first tower, and it was definitely a struggle for them. So I'd really like to see them try and turn things around. I really want to make sure that they're not playing scared. And because we're hopping into the second game now, maybe these players are feeling a little bit more comfortable. But ultimately, we're going to find out. And we definitely do have some more aggressive lanes, specifically in the top lane. And like you said, if Stumpy's able to actually snowball that lane by himself and maybe look for a potential kill or maybe blow a flash, it's got to be a huge win condition that they actually have to play to. And I really hope that Stumpy can pull through with that.
Looking at the other runes and summoner spells, nothing seems too out of the ordinary to me.
Yeah, now we're going to see a nice gank come through. Flash is actually going to come right out there from Julian, getting ignited, and that is just not what you want to see. He does have the TP to get back to the lane, but a lot of early pressure from Desecration there as we see a nice trade come in from Stumpy.
With Julian's TP, you think, oh, at the very least he'll be able to get favorable backs. But the thing with Zoe is every once in a while you get a TP to drop for you from the minions, and you can match that for free. And with the luck that Columbia has been having from last game, I could see it happening and not be the least bit surprised. Once again, we also have an Ocean Drake as first Drake this game. With the pressure built from the Skarner and the Zoe, the Morgana and the Ezreal, that will be going over to them most likely once again as well. And Ezreal and Zoe are two champions that love Ocean Drake almost more than no other. Only Soraka loves an Ocean Drake more.
That's a great point. Ocean Drake did drop again first. And that's got to play a big factor. They can lock that down, as we're going to see lots of trades going in the top lane. Both junglers are going to be in the top side as well. Nice counter strike coming through. And this is the lane that we have to have our eyes on. And I really like to see the junglers come up here and see if they can do something. We do see Bucksack actually up there, but we're also going to see the back come through from Captain Nuke. As maybe another gank's going to come through. We're going to see the trouble bubbles actually going to land. Lots of damage coming through. Not finding the kill just yet, though. Julian's going to live with a sliver of health, though, and is going to manage to get out and still has a TP to get back to lane.
KS does not stand for kill stealing. It stands for kill securing. They could have had that, but Young Bin wanted to give the kill to Desecration too badly and let that kill escaped them. But they still have shown dominance, they still have got summoners, they still have the experience and the minion CS advantage. So it's not the most terrible thing in the world, and I'm sure they'll get that kill here soon, because Predator is about to be up with the buying of the boots. How one pair of boots fits on that Scorpion's 6 legs, I don't know, but it works, and he will feast on somebody.
Absolutely, he will. And we're also going to look for that level 6 spike when Skarner hits that. That's going to be the big level for him. Once he hits level 6, he can really start to look for those aggressive ganks, look for those flash engages with that. And I would really want to see him look for something along those lines in that mid lane where he's constantly been pressuring. And now we're going to see the TPs come through for both laners here as they get back. And just normal laning phase with lots of trading going on, but lots of pressure in the mid lane this time around.
So I want to touch on Conqueror real fast. For me, Conqueror is a rune that should only be picked when you're laning versus a tank, or when you're a champion like Draven in the bot lane. And the reason is, you have to have been in combat for a certain number of seconds before it starts turning all your damage you deal into, well, it turns 20% of your total damage into true damage. When your opponent has very little armor or magic resist, you might do 500 damage, meaning 100 of it gets turned into true damage, which means if they had 30 magic resist and 30 armor, you're only getting 30 extra damage.
Whoa, and now we're going to see an all-in actually come through. We're going to see Captain Nuke go really low. Stumpy not looking for anything just yet, but the ultimate was used. And we talked about the snowball that is available in this lane, and now we see Stumpy's going to back up, thinking the jungler's up here. But super close, almost no summoners being blown, but really close to someone dying there.
And I like Stumpy going and eating the fruit. He can stay in this lane. He already used up his teleport. He doesn't want to have to walk back to this lane and cede the pressure he has gained for himself. But as I was saying, in a 500 damage trade, you're only getting 30 damage off Conqueror Keystone on a low armor magic resist target. Now, super late game, 25 minutes, you can start getting tons of damage, but you get so much more damage from something like Electrocute, Press the Attack, or Grasp of the Undying up until that 20-minute mark. And when you're trying to snowball the lane yourself for the win, I would have preferred to see that Keystone or something other than Conqueror.
For sure. Great stat line to talk about. And now we are going to see a bit of an invade actually come through from Nuke, as he's just going to get a ward down. Bucksack was pretty low. If he did end up encountering the Aurelia, he most likely would have went down. But we're going to see the level 6 actually come through, and maybe this is a time where Sejuani can also look for her back, come back to one of these lanes, and look for an ultimate on one of these champions, specifically this Zoe, who doesn't actually have anything other than her flash to really escape that unless she ends up grabbing another summoner. But I really want to see one of these junglers look to force a play in the early game, as last game it was really just pretty much passive till around the 14-15 minute mark.
I'm pretty sure you'll be getting that fight here in a few seconds. Morgana and Ezreal are pushed so far forward. It'd be really nice to see Dean hit the level 6, back out into Fog of War, and bring Bulkzak in from behind right off the bat. That would be a beautiful play if it can happen. But it looks like they might just be catching people out in the river.
Yeah, it's going to take away the blue buff there. Really well played by them. And then, in turn, can give the blue buff back over and get a secure 2. So, really good opportunity to 3-buff your opponent. Really nice play by them. Just to have the pressure. They had the bot lane pressure to do it. Had the mid lane pressure. But now we're going to see a bit of an engage. Ultimate's going to land on Desecration. Desecration's going to go extremely low here. Not going to have any follow-up as Julian's pretty low on mana. But now we're going to see Youngbin trying to do as much as he can. But he's now in a tough spot. He's also going to have to flash out. 2 flashes were blown right there. And now this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Bucksack really come through with the ultimate, start to pressure, and right there he did exactly that.
If the Skarner had not gotten his ultimate off in time, I believe Julian would have been successful using Phase Rush to run down Desecration and get that free kill. And the thing is, now you look back at that first blood that was missed out on by Skarner and Zoe early on, had they gotten that, would they have not had to use their flashes to survive that fight? Could they have possibly turned that fight with the 600 gold difference and the experience difference it would have made? And once again, it's the pressure. These kids, these young adults are under so much pressure and trying to do so many things. I believe, yes, it was Captain Nuke who actually had to travel back to his college the other day during the tournament to go do finals while trying to compete at this highest level. That is the pressure they're under, and it's understandable if they make mistakes or choke. I would choke. I would choke so bad, somebody would have to perform the Heimlich on me. And I am impressed by these young athletes and hope the best for them and hope that we can continue to see some impressive League of Legends and the next generation of pros make their mark here today.
Yeah, that is incredible by Captain Nuke to be able to do that during the tournament. And now we're actually going to see Stumpy is going to be forced off his turret as lots of damage is going to go down onto his tower, now down to about half health here. And he's just basically going to look for a back as they can just threaten the dive, and he does not have his jungler on the top side with him. And we're not really seeing anything come out of Buck's attack. He's just clearing vision. But this is where we might see the dive here. Stumpy, he does have the potential to outplay it, but we're going to see the ultimate probably come through right away. Nothing just yet, though. Lots of damage coming through on a Youngbin. Youngbin now is going to pop the ulti, and we're going to see him maybe get... Oh, he's not going to find the auto, but we are going to see First Blood come over to Julian. Julian trying to see as much as he can, trying to clean up, but now we are in a tough spot. He does have the ultimate. He's trying to do as much as he possibly can. Lots of damage coming through. He's down in half health, but now we're going to see the ultimate come through by Bucksack. Amazing play come through, the flash ulti, and now we're going to see this Desecration try and walk out. He should be okay. Really well played to respond to that there. They knew that the dive was coming, and they were able to respond, and that came through a 2-for-1 trade in the favor of Colombia.
One of the things that cannot happen, but sometimes we wish it could, is being able to talk verbally to our opponents. And if that was possible, when Julian flashes this wall and steals First Blood, I just would love to hear him yell, "Denied," because it was so close to going over to the other team.
Absolutely, it was extremely close. And because of that, we actually have a huge fight in the mid lane, and we didn't get to watch all of that, but we are actually going to see a solo kill come out from Desecration. And when you look at someone like Julian, who is, I don't believe he got his back off before that, but someone who is a highlight player from this tournament, someone who is an all-star player, you got to think, getting solo killed is not what you want to see, and that was a really well played by Desecration. I would love to get a replay of that so we can see what happened through the whole thing. It looks like the Drowsy lands. Actually, Desecration is pretty low, but he's just going to land everything. Ignite's going to come through, and just Zoe showing that solo kill potential.
He saw his barrier on the ground and knew that he could have an extra 300 hit points and took that fight. That is some incredible champion mastery to know that you could dance around that long to get that damage.
We are going to have a fight breakout here. We're going to see lots of damage going to Stumpy. Stumpy's going to get blown up here. Drowsy's going to come through, and that is going to be a 2-for-0. I believe they did get the rift, but it was not worth for two of them to go down. I want to see how they respond. What does UCI do here to see what they can get back after getting those 2 kills, as they are making their way in the top wave, looking to pressure that tower, and they might be able to knock that down for first turret. As we see actually an all-in now from Evan. Evan's just going to land the ults and get some autos off them.
They are going to get the top turret. I suspect that they will try to do a lane swap. If I was them, I would put Lotman by himself up top just to clear waves and keep Bloodwater close by, giving Lotman the ability to use his teleport to help secure this Infernal Drake in about a minute 43 seconds. They have the CS, they have the gold, they have a 6-stack Dark Seal on Zoe. There is nothing they can't take if they think about it and make sure to do it one step at a time, not jumping and leaping down the stairs and breaking their own neck.
Yeah, and we're also going to see the Rift actually be summoned right away at a Stumpy. But now we're going to see the ultimate no black shield able to come out right just yet, and that is going to be a kill going over to Evan. And this is the Rift, and this is actually a very interesting play because they must have known that the Rift was summoned in the base. They would have known, but instead we are actually going to see that Bloodwater is going to stay near the turret. He was all alone. He gets taken down. That leads to a turret being taken bot lane, and now we can see the pressure being exerted a little bit, and now we actually have a bit more of an even game, only within 2K.
So there was definitely some skates on that stair that Blood in the Water didn't see. That was so poorly done here. His black shield was down. He was being too aggressive by himself, and that could end up costing the Infernal Drake. We'll see that when we get back into the game, if it does or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Way too aggressive. No need whatsoever to step up there. Could have been fine behind his tower and could have just backed off if he saw them coming to push. But ultimately, he gets taken down and also loses the tower. And as you said, that Infernal Drag is coming up very, very soon in about 5 seconds now. And we're going to see the Trouble Bubble land. But Dean is there to make sure he saves his mid laner as Blue goes over to Julian now.
We have some important item buys with the Trinity Forces being finished and the Rod of Ages and Luden's Echo. Both teams are looking for a scrap, and the difficult part for Columbia right now is the superior poke from the Zoe and the Ezreal. Without Bolzak's ultimate up, chained into Evan's ultimate, I cannot see them winning this team fight in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and now we are going to see the TP come through. We're going to see Stumpy is here, but they're going to secure the Infernal Dragon. Maybe not looking for anything just yet as the root does come through, but they should just back off. Stumpy's in the pit, though, and they're going to put all their focus on the Stumpy. Stumpy now getting taken really low. Ultimate's not going to find anything from Sejuani, but now we might see Nuke go down as we're going to see Dean actually eat up Stumpy. Stumpy now extremely low. He's going to survive for now, though. Nuke going to go down next, and we're going to see tons of damage coming out. Bucksack not going to find anything, but now we have Ezreal looking for cleanup, but here comes Stumpy back through. He's going to find another one. Really well played so far, and we're going to see Latman has so many low targets, maybe looking to pop off here, playing really aggressive. Desecration now looking for a Q. Not going to find anything just yet. Dean not really low. Now we can see another one being taken down, as that's going to be 2, 3, now 4 going down right there, as well as the Infernal. Really well played by UCI.
The kite potential, the mobility, and the poke in the end won that team fight for them, even though some decent CC came through and catching them out in the pit. Columbia has to focus more and has to get the perfect CC to stop this game from snowballing any faster than it already is. And even though Zoe went down, 8 stacks still on that Darksail, and if I'm Desecration after that play, helping Latman finish everybody off in the 2v4, I'd be excited enough to build the Magi's and make this game my playhouse.
Absolutely, and this is where we see the fight break out. We can see Stumpy going extremely low here, and Dean actually eats him up just in time, takes him out. But on top of that, we have so much damage coming through as Lyman's just putting out a bunch of free auto attacks, and there's just nothing they can do at this point. They're all so low that it's just a free-for-all for Lyman to come through and do as much damage as possible. Stumpy ends up finding 1, but Desecration really low as well, but ends up finding the Q here. But and they don't even trade it back, and I'm pretty sure they definitely, oh, actually they do. They end up taking him back at least. But ultimately, really well played by UCI, finding multiple kills as well as an Infernal Drag, and that is exactly what you want to see going forward into this game.
Looking at where the minions are, where the towers have been fallen, it is quite possible that Ezreal, Skarner, and Irelia sneak a Baron, letting Zoe and Morgana continue the poke and the pressure in the other lanes. Now that's a far shot in the dark, very long, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. It's something that Columbia will have to think about and be scared of while they're getting pushed in everywhere. But California can also just continue to play this safe and continue to starve out their opponents in any way, shape, or form they can with this superior poke and Captain Nuke beating out Stumpy in the 1v1 significantly at this point.
Absolutely, and we are having the Baron online in about 20 seconds as the Trouble Bubble is going to land, looking to pull out more damage, but Dean is there to make sure that his jungler does not take any additional poke. But the Baron will be spawning very soon. We have two very aggressive split push champions, and you got to think they're going to be alone for long periods of time. That could be a lot of solo kill pressure for those two, but Aurelia should have the advantage right now as she does have the Tiamat over top of Stumpy right now. And now we might get a bit of a dive. Redemption is going to come through to make sure he stays okay. But now we're going to have the TP actually out of Julian. Julian's here trying to put as much damage as possible, but it looks like they are just going to back up. Nothing's going to be made of this.
Evan has decided to build AP Varus. And a part of me likes it, a part of me hates it. The part of me that likes this is AP Varus can shred the Black Shield so quickly, allowing the CC from his own ultimate and from Sejuani's ultimate to hit and help them win the team fight. But the reason why I hate it is, looks like we got a fight here.
Yeah, we do have a fight that's going to break out here. We're going to see an ultimate come through. Julian's going to get taken down here very shortly, but he's going to pop his Zonies to buy himself a little bit more time. On top of that, we have lots of damage coming through. Evan putting out multiple auto attacks here, but now we have Aurelia looking for cleanup. Going to find another one. Double kill coming through for Evan now. Triple, maybe looking for 4. Does have 2 alive, but that is going to be a 3-4-2 right there. Really well played. Evan getting a bunch of free hits out, as well as we have a TP from Evan trying to see if he can find anything more, though. Don't think that was necessary, and this should be a tower going down. And this was really well played. Evan was just untargeted right there, put out multiple damage, and that was just really well played by them.
Without Evan's TP there, Captain Nuke could have completely killed that wave, preventing this mid tower from going down. So even though it wasn't the most fancy TP, it didn't get a kill, it did secure them in the tower, and I appreciate it as one of the better TPs from an AD carry so far this tournament. I still do not like that choice, not at this level.
Yeah, and we are going to see the engage come through here, and this is Julian actually buying a lot of time, having the Zanyas or the stopwatch, whatever it might have been. But this is just Evan putting out a bunch of free damage here as the stuns come through, and then we have Aurelia, Nuke looking for multiple targets, trying to see what he can find. But Evan was untouched this fight, put out so much damage, and there was nothing they could really do. They were also a bit separated, but ultimately, really nice comeback fight right there. Colombia showing they're not out of it just yet.
So the question is, where did the gold go from that fight? It went all onto Captain Nuke Doug for California, and all onto Evan for Colombia. And in this game, with how much Captain Nuke Doug is already doing, I think I would prefer 2 kills onto him to win that split push, to cause the chaos versus Colombia, more than I would want a bit more gold on my AD carry. So we'll see if Captain Nuke Doug can continue to play that game to win this second game and to put them to match point with what he's been given from the teams.
And we are going to see a tower go down, but now we're going to see an engage onto Stumpy. Stumpy's going to land the counter-strike, but now he's trying to get himself out, but he's going to get taken down. But now maybe we're seeing if Colombia could find anything in return. Desecration should go down next. Another kill going over to Evan. Now we're going to see the root actually come through, and now Nuke's going to get himself out of there. Really well played to maneuver and get himself out of that one. But ultimately, another 1-for-1 trade, and that's another kill going over to Evan, but another kill going over to Nuke.
So what I was saying about this...
Now we're going to have a huge engage actually onto Youngbin. Youngbin's going to go extremely low. Does not have the flash to get himself out of that. Another kill for Evan, now currently 7-1-2. He is really heating up in this series, really trying to take over this game as they are trying to get control of the Baron and trying to do as much pressure as they possibly can here. And I don't think they're going to look for it, but the jungler is down, so they might actually go for it. And they're going to start it as the TP comes through.
So both ultimates for CC are down from Sejuani and Evan. It's quite dangerous to be in this pit, but Desecration is not here.
Ratman's going to actually go forward here. Julian now is zoning 3 people right now as he pops the ultimate. Baron is going to be taken down, though. Julian's going to flash out to make sure they secure it. They're going to regroup and look to maybe go mid lane, but they are going to have the actual Baron. They did secure it. Really well played by them. Finding the pick on a Youngbin, turning it into a Nasher, and this is where Colombia has the chance to really put their foot on the pedal and take over the game.
I wish I could go back and see what Youngbin was doing, why he was in the position he was. We see we have a ward already in the back of Red Pit, and a ward on the far side of the Pixel Bush. Oh, it looks like he goes to try to clear a pink and just stays there too long eventually. Pinks are not worth dying for, because you then lose the Baron when you're a jungler.
Absolutely. As a jungler, your life is extremely important, especially once you have that purple worm on the map. So really well played by them to find the pick on the Young Bin, which then led to the Baron. But now we have to see, how does Columbia respond now that they have Stumpy in the bottom lane, trying to do as much pressure as he possibly can. He has the split push potential. He has the outplay potential. But this is what we want to see. Can Columbia start knocking on these towers and start banging them down? We're going to see here. I would love to see them really start to break open the base and maybe look for another fight as they go on to Dean. Dean is actually going to ult them bot side as they're actually going to group up and bring the wave here, though. Really well played.
That was very, very well played. And
yeah,
we're at the point of the game.
Engage here. But this is going to be a huge ultimate out of Aurelia. Captain Nuke putting out lots of damage. Dean's going to eat up Evan. Evan now is available to put out multiple autos, but he's going to get taken down right there by Captain Nuke. Now Captain Nuke should be taken out in return, but he's going to survive a bit longer. Flash is going to come through by Stumpy. Stumpy's going to clean that one up. Now we do have a 4-on-3. It's currently just a 2-for-1. Multiple damage coming through, but we do have lots of poke available for desecration as well as Latman, and I'm not sure if they're going to continue, but it looks like they are.
Bloodwater still has his ultimate.
Oh.
They cannot dive here, and with the poke, they will be able to protect their lane quite effectively.
Oh, and Trouble Bubble's going to land onto Stumpy. Stumpy does not have the flash available. He's going to get taken down and caught out. Really nice pick by Desecration.
It was a beautiful macro play to switch Evan down with Dean's ultimate, but then they just don't protect him properly from the Captain Nuke. Too much CC. Too many blades on the ground. Very well done from Captain Nuke. He is solo saving his team right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Bucksack actually waited in the brush for all of those members to pass and actually came extremely late. So I'm not sure what he was actually attempting to do there because he saw the targets come down. And we should get also another replay of Stumpy getting trouble bubbled, but we're not going to get that just yet. But that is a few members that no longer have the Baron buff, and now they have only gotten down just the one turret, I believe. So this isn't basically the most effective Baron Asher play that we've seen so far.
And Captain Nuke is now going to try to run away from 3, possibly 4.
Looks like a tough spot right now. Pole is not going to find him just yet, but now he's going to get it. And now we're looking for tons of damage here. Gage is going to come through, trying to stall. He's going to land a stun onto a few, though. Pole's going to get him back in there. Kill's going to go secured by Julian. That's exactly where you want your goal to go as well. But then we're going to see Bloodwater maybe in a tough spot, but they're going to actually trade a turret in response for that.
I would call worth, not just because towers are worth more than gold, but you have already gotten into your team's head if they are sending 4 people to stop you every single time as Captain Nuke. When he finishes that Ravenous Hydra, he'll probably go straight into a Quicksilver Sash, and there is nobody that can stop him once he finishes those 2 items. No 2 people who could stop him from Columbia College at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're going to see Dean actually going to pop. She did not pop the cleanse there. I don't believe the binding landed onto him. Really close. But now we're in a position where the Baron, I don't think, is no longer active on any more members. And they did not really get anything other than a tower. They actually might have lost more than they actually got. I mean, they would have gotten a decent amount of gold from the Nash itself. But ultimately from the objectives that they knocked down, I believe it would have pretty much been even from both teams.
They got about 2,000 gold Baron power play overall in the end for the amount of towers traded and kills traded. But that was Columbia College's one good chance because they had that Baron. And at this point, I'd be scared once again to see where this is going. Swain is starting to get to the place where he is just ineffective in comparison to some of the other late game mid carries. There is too much magic damage as well in this 4-man group. Irvine
Oh,
can.
and whoa, QSS coming out there from Latman. Really close. Good thing he bought the QSS. Really, really smart from Latman. Could have really bad for him.
Irvine, California can start stacking the MR with these last few items, getting the more QSSs on other members, and being
Yeah,
safe.
absolutely. Now we might have a bit of engage here as Dean is actually going to get stunned up, but he's going to walk out. And now we have multiple poke coming down. More damage going on to Stumpy, though. Stumpy going really low. Now we're going to see Julian on the backline seeing if he can anything. But now we have the trouble bubble that's actually going to land onto Buck. But now he's trying to walk out. They're on the prowl. They're looking for more damage. Stumpy really close to going down. They're trying to see if they can clean him up. Trouble bubble is actually going to land again. And now we're going to see that Evan is on the backline seeing if he can maybe do anything in return here. But now we're going to have more damage coming through. Buckstack's going to go through. Actually going to get cleaned up by the Redemption as well as Dean going down. Both tanks are going to get taken out right there, and now they have their eyes on the Infernal.
Beautiful 2-for-1 by Youngbin, saving his impale, waiting for Dean to try to save somebody, and then him himself getting that ultimate off. Very well played by Irvine on all parts.
Absolutely, and this is where we're going to see the replay here of all the damage coming through as we see in the bottom left corner that they are taking the Infernal Drag, but multiple trouble bubbles coming through, lots of poke damage coming through, and then I believe it was the Redemption that ended up cleaning up Bucksack. But he gets taken down, and just this game is basically dead even right now. And this is almost anyone's game. It's just going to come down to positioning. And if Evan gets in position to put out a whole bunch of damage, he can really deal it right now. He is currently 8-2-4 and has lots of items. And now we're going to see Julian in the top lane, seeing if he can find anything. Flash is going to come through, not going to find anything just yet. Evan does have the ultimate available, seeing if maybe he can find one, but he is not. And they're just going to walk themselves out, flash for flash, but probably not worth in the end as it was mid for support. But now it's not over just yet as Stumpy actually gets taken down a bit. And now the tanks are actually in a tough spot again. This is them getting caught out. We're going to see this kill going right over. Dean's getting caught out as we have multiple action. And this is going to be maybe Bucksack in a tough spot too, but he's trying to walk himself out. And man, oh man, that Baron's on the table. And this isn't over just yet. Stumpy's going to get taken down. But now we have Evan over here. He's trying to do as much as he possibly can. He is extremely fed as we have a fight in the top lane. Bucksack's going to be taken down right there by Youngbin. Now we're going to see more damage coming through for Julian as everybody's just scattered across the map. This is super messy right now as we see both carriers trying to walk themselves out of mid lane. Bubble is going to land though onto Evan. That's going to be the QSS coming through, so he's not going to get taken out just yet. And Nuke is trying to prowl. He is trying to look for more maybe as they might turn this, but this is just so scrappy right now.
Latman's going for the base. He's going to get so much off this. It's being covered by my face, but he just finished the tower, is starting on the inhibitor, and Captain Nuke and Desecration will not let the opposing laners get away from them.
Yeah, and we're going to see Nuke actually almost going down there. Evan almost turning that around a bit. But in the end, he gets taken down. He did finish his death cap, though, so he's going to be that much stronger. But that was just really sloppy play by Columbia, spread out from the whole top side right there, not playing together, very isolated, and now they have their eyes on the Nasher.
This is going down so quickly, and I'm upset about that series of events. 4 kills for Irvine, but they ruined my statement. I said at the beginning of the day, we had seen only one game of Zoe, and 90% of the games she was banned, and I wanted to see somebody prove to us why she deserves so much respect. Up until that point, Desecration had 100% kill participation, but now she's missing 2, and so ruined my point before I could say it. But it was good fighting, and it was worth it in the end, I guess.
Absolutely great finding multiple picks, and that's what UCI has been really good at this game. They find multiple picks onto these targets. They're not playing as well or as much as a unit this game, really a lot more spread out, and UCI really showing that they're bringing the heat to them as we see that this Baron is live and active on all 5 members, and they are going to be pushing towards this bot side as we do have the mid inhibitor down, and Aurelia might just look to push the banner minions in so that they can pressure the tier 2.
So the one item I want to talk about right now is Stumpy's stopwatch. If people don't notice he has that, theoretically he could get the flash 3 or 4 man stun and yet not go down himself with the Messiah play. Hopefully that can happen. It's the only thing that might get into the heads of California at this point and let them get a team fight victory. They are getting run over right now, and California wants to finish the game.
Yeah, they are looking for blood right now as they push through, and they're going to knock down another tower and now have their eyes on the inhibitor, trying to see if they can pull out anything more here. But this is just looking really rough right now for Columbia. They might have to make their final stand, as the binding is going to land on the Dean, but he's going to pop the QSS. And now we're going to see a little bit of damage coming through. Lots of poke available for UCI, however. So they're looking to stay. And now we actually are going to see the back from Stumpy, as he's going to be back here. And this turret is now down to about half health. And they're going to might look for an engaged Counter-Strike looking to come through. Only going to find one, though. Lots of damage coming through. Julian's on the back line trying to do as much as he possibly can. But now we're going to see Aurelia putting out plenty of damage here. Evan in the back line trying to see what he can do. That's going to be Nuke finding one, though. But now they're going to be on the back foot trying to see what they can do to get out of this. And we can just see Desecration going forward, finding another one. And this looks like it could be the game here, as there's nothing that Columbia is able to do. The Nexus is the target, and that is it. Game 2 being taken by UCI.
Yeah, I would have really loved to see Stumpy back about 5-6 seconds earlier, making it a bit easier to search for a flash play to try to defend his base. Did not happen. Immaculate play by Ivern. Great split push and pressure from both Desecration and Captain Nuke. And at this point, I am seeing a 3-0 happen. I do not believe Columbia has dealt with loss enough in their very dominant season coming up to this point to know how to come back right here, right now, when it matters most.
Yeah, that is a great point to bring up. I mean, going forward, you are now in an 0-2 situation. You're still barely new to the stage. You know, you have to make sure that you do not get tilted, but even the best pros still get tilted, still sometimes have a rough mindset coming after losses. So you have to think, how do these young kids or young adults deal with this? How do they go forward? And you got to think, it's got to come down to their coaching staff, making sure that they keep their heads on straight and make sure they're not out of the series yet.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will get Game 3 up very soon. If we're lucky, it will go further. If not, oh well, it still has been an incredible tournament with incredible performances and so many champs and personalities. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you soon once again.